Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Little bit of Chelsea news today, and instead of me constantly, every single day saying, please get me Victor Osimhen, please get me Victor Osimhen. Yesterday, Viktor Gyökeres was on another planet again for Sporting Lisbon. I want to talk about Gyökeres a little bit because Chelsea were apparently in the race for him. He was one of the names being considered. I want to talk a bit today about strikers, Premier League clubs, new signings and all of that stuff, because the more I look at Liverpool and the business they're doing, Jeremy Frimpong, Florian Wirtz might be going there as well, I'm like, this is a team that are already like however many points ahead, 15, 20 points ahead at the top of the league. And then they're going to go and buy these level players before the season's even done. Obviously, they'll join in the summer, but they're getting business done early. Liverpool are moving quickly. And this is the sign of a team that look at the situation, analyse where they are, see what they need, deal with it, and then work with it. And if Arne Slot's got all of these guys in for pre-season, Liverpool aren't rushing business come July, August, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. Chelsea have got competition for Viktor Gyökeres from basically any club with 60 million quid in Europe, because there's a lot of teams that are going to be looking at him thinking, this goal record is just absolutely outrageous. If we take a little look at it here, these are the numbers this season, and I know what you're going to say. It's the Portuguese league, Benson. If I had a quid, right, for every time someone says, but Osimhen only scores in Turkey, Gyökeres only scores in Portugal, I'd be probably taking the day off. But these are the numbers for Viktor Gyökeres this season. 33 matches played in the Portuguese league. They've done him dirty with this picture here. I don't know how old he is there, but he's a bit too young, I think. 39 goals in 33 games, 7 assists, outperforming his XG. Shot creating actions to 153. Shot creating actions, 6 goals in 8 games in the Champions League. There are top strikers on the market this summer. And for me, it's absolutely imperative that Chelsea get one of the big boys. Because I think if we don't get one of the big boys, somebody else in the Premier League will. And even if that is a team like a Manchester United, if you read all of the rumours and believe all of the rumours, Liam Delap wants to go to Man United. We know that when it comes to like cash strapping, Chelsea have got money to spend. It's just where we spend it that the questions get asked about. But Manchester United, we don't even know how much money they're going to have to spend. And if there is one good thing about Chelsea stockpiling all of these players, is that at least we've got enough assets to sell so that we can spend money. Whereas Manchester United, they're the 16th, 17th best team in the Premier League. Do they actually have many assets that they could sell to raise money to sign players? Not really, because no one's that good. And the ones that are good, surely they want to keep them. So for Chelsea, this man right here, 26 years old, same age as Victor Osimhen, same bloody name, but with a different spelling. This is somebody that I would absolutely love at Chelsea. When it comes to like the profile of player that he is, he's a bit of a bully. He doesn't do anything fancy. There isn't like Alexander Isak, for example, can be reminiscent of a Thierry Henry when he's running with the ball. I think Isak will be about double the price of both Osimhen and Gyökeres. Obviously, with wages and stuff, it's very different. But Viktor Gyökeres, the wage demands are what are very interesting comparatively to that of Victor Osimhen. Reportedly, it is nowhere near the amount of wages that Victor Osimhen wants. You guys know, I'm not just, by the way, I know that people love to throw out the terminology flip-flop on YouTube and whatnot, but this isn't me saying, no, I don't want Osimhen anymore. This is me saying in this video today that if you don't get Osimhen because you don't want to pay the wages, you got to look at this guy. The numbers speak for themselves, and he's an absolute bully. What's Arne Slot doing on the screen there? Look at these numbers, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking the top 1% when it comes to non-penalty goals, shot-creating actions, progressive carries of the ball. This guy can dribble, touches in the attacking penalty area, progressive passes received, obviously very high because he's a striker, shots, take-ons. Like, these numbers are absolutely outrageous. And if you look at the different types of goals that he scores, he's so powerful. What Chelsea lacks so much is somebody that is powerful in the box. And I think when you compare Osimhen to Gyökeres, for example, Viktor Gyökeres can score headers, but if you look at these stats here, not really renowned for his aerials. He's only in the top, 14, the bottom. He's in the bottom percentage there for aerials, 1. Doesn't score too many headed goals, but it's the way that he can use both feet. He kind of reminds me a little bit like a Luis Suarez at times. Hear me out here a little bit in terms of the way that he can sort of navigate in really tight positions and score goals from acute angles. Viktor Gyökeres has got that eye to put the ball in a bottom corner, a top corner. So many variances with this kind of finishing too. He can just completely outpower defenders, smash the ball into the top corners. I think if Chelsea are really serious this summer, guys, honestly, we don't need another developmental striker. We need to be looking at the Victor Gyökeres, Victor Osimhen, Alexander Isak bracket. If we do get Champions League football next weekend by beating Nottingham Forest, honestly, not only is it going to feel like such a relief, but we can be excited. And I just hope this summer that the club acknowledge that we do need a bit of leadership and experience. And you can't skimp out on the top ends of the pitch in terms of having a good goalkeeper, centre-backs. I want to talk about Colwill in a minute because I think he's been amazing in recent weeks. I think he deserves some flowers here on the channel. But having a 26-year-old striker that has been bagging goals in for fun is absolutely what the club needs. The players around him need to look at someone they can aim for in the box. Chelsea this season, time and time again, cross. No one to put on the end of it. That's what Maresca wants to do, right? He wants the wingers to hold the width, and then he wants the fullback sometimes inverted in the middle, and like we saw that with the Reece James Cucurella goal. But he wants those wingers out wide, and then he wants them to beat the man, get the ball across the face of the goal, put it in the back of the net. Jackson doesn't do that. Jackson is more likely to drop deeper and then, give the ball a little 1-2 and then go forward and score. Jackson isn't running on and heading it. Jackson isn't flicking the ball on and scoring with his first touch. You know what I mean? Players like Osimhen, Gyökeres, not only can they bully past those defenders in the Premier League that will be able to physically get under their skin, but he can beat them and then score, rifle the ball in the back of the net. If Chelsea get to the Champions League, it's important that we make sure that we stay there. And you don't stay there by having harder matches week in, week out, and having players that can interchange with one another who also need time to develop, that aren't ready yet. That's how you get knocked out early in the domestic cup competitions. That's how you get yourself a tricky last 16 Champions League draw if you don't finish high enough. Do you know what I mean? Chelsea need to be acting like a club that wants to win those competitions. And I know that's me speaking about the Chelsea of old again, but look, Blueco, owners, okay? This is an important summer for Chelsea. We have got great players that we've already signed coming through. And that is, I guess you could say, credit to the foreshadowment of that. If that's a word. Foreshadowing. Andre Santos, unbelievable. Scored again for Strasbourg last night. We'll talk about them in a minute. Esteval coming in as well. There is exciting talents coming through the door already. But that elite goal scorer, make it Victor Gyökeres. If you're not going to make it Victor Osimhen. If you're not going to make it Isak, Victor Gyökeres is the guy. The numbers this season, unbelievable. Scored last night against Vitoria. Look at this. He even got 4 against Boa Vista 4 match weeks ago. The man's an absolute joke. Hat-trick before that against Moreirense. This is serious. Chelsea, go out for him. Absolutely brilliant striker. Next story. Chelsea are unlikely to be in the same competition as Strasbourg after they lost to Le Havre today. That was yesterday. The best Strasbourg can hope for is a Conference League place, but it requires PSG to beat Reims in the Cup final. The French League was actually very similar to that of the Premier League, where the race for the Champions League, the European places, PSG, outright winners, bit like Liverpool, easy. And then there was loads of teams competing for the other places. And Strasbourg yesterday, Santos put them 1-0 up, and somehow they have capitulated at the end of this game. Behdad Eghbali was there. Obviously, if they'd have managed to make the Champions League, that would have looked great for him. But they've given it away. They've thrown it away at the death. Obviously, PSG, you probably expect them to beat Reims in the Cup final, so that would get them Conference League football. But that being said, amazing season for Strasbourg. Football-wise, I actually made a video about Strasbourg and the relationship with Chelsea. I'll leave a link to the more GBFC video for that in the comments down below. I now want to give some credit to Levi Colwill, because when it comes to Chelsea centre-backs this season, obviously we've seen Dean Howson. He's now confirmed he's going to Real Madrid. We spoke about that a couple of days ago. I think Levi Colwill deserves some praise, because in recent weeks, there was a time, maybe about a month and a half ago, where he was in a bad run of form. And I don't think he's been dribbled past in the last 6 games. He's been really confident going into tackles. There seems to have been a massive levelling up in his game. I think as well as that, like, Chelsea have needed people to step up and be leaders in recent weeks. And I think with Colwill, there's been a bit of disappointment from me over the course of, like, since he's broken into the Chelsea team. I don't know if it was like Chelsea, we have a habit of overhyping players, and then if they're not that perfect or that good every single week, we're like, well, why have we done this then? He's no good. Levi Colwill is proven to be a fantastic defender. If Chelsea are looking at kind of an aggressive player that can win the ball, I think Colwill's seriously growing into that recently. So I think credit absolutely needs to be given to him. The next story, Man United and Chelsea are both in the race to sign Theo Hernandez from AC Milan this summer. Now, I'm going to say one thing about this. Theo Hernandez, I think, is a really decent left back. Does he want to play second fiddle to Marc Cucurella? Probably not. I don't know why you'd want to leave AC Milan and then go and be second choice for Chelsea. But I really hope that if there is any truth behind this here, this is just Chelsea looking at top class, top quality backup, and not because we're going to cash in on Marc Cucurella this summer. I'm not hearing that we're looking to, so don't say I'm trying to promote negativity and all that stuff, but Marc Cucurella has become one of those undroppable players, one of those untouchable, unsellable players at Chelsea. He absolutely gets it. He is clearly very key to the way that Enzo Maresca wants to play. It's looking more and more likely that Enzo Maresca will get another season at Chelsea next year. Deservedly so, I think, in my opinion, if he gets Champions League football. A lot of people in the video yesterday are still saying, I can't deal with it, it's too much. I do get it. I really do get it. But Cucurella can't be one of the players that goes. So seeing Chelsea linked to Theo Hernandez, great stuff. If we can have, like, Alonso and Ben Chilwell, I thought that was unbelievable left-back depth. If we can have that again, absolutely excellent stuff. Final story of the day. Liverpool have entered the race to signing Nkunku, who will leave Chelsea this summer. To be honest, I don't really care where Christopher Nkunku goes. I just want him out the door. A couple of videos ago, before the Man United game, I made the video talking about how Chelsea can afford Osimhen. Even in that video, I missed out Sterling as another big wage player that we need to get off the books. This summer is a big one for Chelsea in terms of prioritising elite footballers to come into the club. This is what I want. But as well as that, it's imperative, absolutely non-negotiable, that we get rid of a lot of high-wage players at this club that are either not fit in the system, don't want to be at Chelsea, or aren't good enough. And there is a lot of those caliber of players at Chelsea. But anyway, daily videos right now. Daily videos also on more GBFC. Link in the description. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like if you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.